What are you grinning about?
Huh? I wasn't grinning.
Right. Well, stop it.
That's just how my face looks, Marius. Hey, you got something on your mind? Something you want to talk about?
See? You're doing it now.
Well, now you're being funny.
Oh, gods. I'm just making it worse.
I hope no one minds. I made myself at home.
Don't mind at all. It's good to have you. Tell us a bit about yourself, Giada.
Let's see. A few things about me. I enjoy long conversations, and my favorite season is autumn. Apparently, I also snore, which annoys some people.
So do I. Glad it won't just be me now. We should pitch our tents on either side of Marius. The drone really helps him sleep.
Right. That's me. And the first rule of camp is never listen to Kai. He's a blessed Nimdude of the highest order.
If anyone needs their soul tinkered on, don't hesitate to ask. I'm rather good with souls.
I'll take your word for it.
You should keep an eye on that scrape on your arm. You don't want it to get infected.
It barely even counts as a scrape.
That's the worst kind of flesh wounds. Lots of open skin contact. Snapflies like the peeled skin. Fog mites love the blood.
I'm sure it's nothing to worry about.
I have some tanglewort in my pack. That should clear it right up.
Okay. If you insist.
You can thank me later. That's what I'm here for.
Tell me, where did you learn to hunt?
Early on, I learned from a warden named Ilinka. After that, I learned a lot from just going out and surviving on my own.
I'll bet you're a natural. You make it look effortless.
If you know what you're doing, it's not really that hard.
Some hunt with their eyes and ears, but you are hunting with your soul.
Not sure I get what you mean.
I believe you were a true hunter in a past life, an apex predator, like a Stelgar. You may not know it, but those instincts are still yours, lying dormant, like a cat in the tall grass.
Right, that's me, Marius, king of the grasslands.
With a little anamancy, we could awaken your former self. Wouldn't that be interesting?
Oh no, absolutely not.
Oh well, let me know when you change your mind.
Look, Marius, if you ever want to talk about anything, you know I'm here, right?
Right, appreciate that, but I'm all right.
If you ever change your mind, the offer stands.
Okay, Amakul, I'll keep that in mind. Yatsli, I have a question.
Oh no, what's wrong?
Oh, nothing's wrong. I just want to know how you handle the traps in Godless Ruins so easily.
Is that all? Just simple practice, dearie. You have enough of your fur cut by a giant swinging pendulum, and you learn to be a mite more careful.
Right. Maybe you can save me some cut fur and hand me a few pointers sometime.
Of course. The very next ruin we see, I promise.
Gods, I'm gonna regret this, aren't I? You might want to consider not washing your clothes in safflower oil.
I hate to break it to you, but regular laundry is a common courtesy when you're traveling with a group.
No, it's fine. If you feel the need to wash your clothes, go right ahead. Just use something else.
Sweat and midday breezes don't count as washing, you know.
Right, so I smell like the wilderness. You people stand out like a tree rat in heat. You've been complaining about the flies, though. They're attracted to the scent of sap flowers.
Thanks, Marius. That's helpful.
Well, don't get used to it. So, anamancy, huh?
Indeed. A vibrant tapestry of art, research, and spirituality.
Sounds interesting. I mean, the souls and whatnot.
Are you curious about the soul? Yours, or maybe someone else's?
No, just, talking.
Talking is good. If you're ever curious about anamancy, you know where to find me.
Right. Good talk. Good talk.
Okay, best food you've eaten. Go.
Fury and root hog ribs.
Really? Fascinating. Why?
Why? Why do you need to know?
Well, I think you can learn a lot about someone from their favorite meals.
Is one of the options because it's delicious?
It can be.
What did my answer tell you?
That you dislike answering what you perceive to be meaningless questions.
Wow. It's like you're a cipher or something. Listen, Kai, I need you to stalk like a cat, not stomp around like a Balorok.
My training was a lot bigger on stomping than stalking, unfortunately.
Right, and I got cooking lessons in Solace, but you don't see me making beetle mash every night for dinner. The bears out here can hear a snapfly dropping sokka from across the stair. You don't want to get eaten, you need to walk softly.
I'll remind you of that next time you start playing your flute at camp.
That is different. Bears' natural prey doesn't tend to play flutes.
They might show up to get you to stop.
I've had this flute for years, and I have yet to be killed by a bear.
On second thought, maybe that's what's keeping them away.
I'm starving. Serves me right for not packing enough snacks.
I've got some cheese. Want to share?
You have cheese? Where did you get cheese?
Maurice's pack. It's full of snacks. I figured he wouldn't miss a little cheese.
I won't tell if you don't.
Yardsley, how long have you and Quilici been together?
About 30 years. Why do you ask?
How do you make that work for so long?
Well, it helps to have a partner so understanding and virile. Why do you ask?
Over all that time, how do you hold in the parts of yourself they'd never accept? How do you contain all your worst pieces?
Darling, if you can't be your worst self with them, what's the point?
Kai, does the word Nemnok mean anything to you? Nemnok, the one who devours?
There were rumors of a cult in Deadfire that followed, Nemnok. Some kind of tyrannical monster.
Interesting. One of my books refers to Nemnok as a god, the immortal eater of worlds.
Right. That sounds wonderful.
Another book refers to them as an imp, a tiny, foul-mouthed creature hurling insults.
Those sound like campfire stories. You can't believe everything you read.
It would be useful to have a god on our side, but perhaps not an imp god. That sounds like more trouble than it's worth.
Oh, you should be old enough to know that trouble can, from time to time, be very good.
Would you ever consider using anamancy at sea?
Nope. Too unpredictable.
But surely you see the potential. It could improve navigation, lighting, and even fishing.
And the last thing you want is your navigator hearing voices, or your hull catching fire when one of those devices messes up.
Where's your spirit of adventure?
Alive to tell the tale, thank you.
Yanatat.
I beg your pardon?
Huh? You sneezed. Yanatat.
Yanatat. Is it supposed to sound like a sneeze?
How should I know?
Thank you, dear. But I think I just got some perfume ingredients stuck in my nose.
Right. Just be careful. There's something going around the camp. I think Kai caught some kind of...
Yanatat.
Kai, can I borrow your pistol?
I don't usually lend it out. Why?
I was hoping to make a few simple modifications.
What kinds of modifications?
Well, I was going to start by removing the trigger,
What?
then snapping off the hammer,
Are you serious?
and finally stuffing the barrel with tree sap.
Why would you do this?
Because I caught you reading my diary, that's why.
Giada, I promise on my life and on every life my soul has ever lived, I will never touch your diary again.
And?
And I'm very, very sorry.
Wonderful. In that case, you can hold on to your little toy.
Well, that was hard to watch. You okay?
I will be.
And he'll have learned a very valuable lesson, too.
I'm trying to remember the academic term for something, and it's driving me mad.
What does this hypothetical term describe?
What's the word for a soul that breaks apart, becomes two people, and then in life they are sworn enemies?
That sounds too specific to have its own term.
There has to be one, right?
I can't think of one. Oh, you could probably make up your own.
I couldn't just do that.
Why not? I do it all the time. Or you could even parlay that into an entire field of research if you play your cards right.
Tempting, but dangerous. I really ought to exhaust one field of research before starting another.
If you insist.
When you were in the Navy, did you ever get shipwrecked?
Once. The seas were choppy, and we scraped the edge of a reef, pretty far from any of our bases, unfortunately.
And when the rations ran out, did you
Did I what?
eat any of your crewmen?
No, we went fishing and harvested fire kelp. Why?
Cannibalism is supposed to be good for the soul, according to research anyway.
What research?
I've also heard that sailors have appetites that can't be sated on land.
Sometimes it's just about survival. You make different decisions when your life is on the line.
You people read too many adventure stories. Doesn't the thought make you queasy?
On the bright side, if we're ever short on supplies, it's useful to know who gets eaten first.
Just remind me never to get on a ship with any of you.
You've been to Thirdborn before, right?
1,000 times. Why?
Have you been to every part of the Living Lands by now, Marius?
Once.
Oh, it's terrible, right? Temerity keeps raving about it, but I think there's just nothing else in town.
You're talking about the ragfish stew, right? That stuff would peel the bark off a tree.
Oh, that's delicious.
The last time I had it, I was bedridden for days. I don't know how they eat there every day.
I had a buttermilk biscuit there once. Spent the next week in the privy.
You just gotta soldier through it a few times. Builds character and a strong stomach.
You don't really like the food of the dead swordfish, do you?
Sure I do. What's wrong with it?
Well, first of all, it's being served at a place called the Dead Swordfish.
Would you rather eat a live swordfish?
Second, I think the chef devised their recipes after suffering severe head trauma.
They're traditional Rowataian dishes. We have to get creative with our ingredients.
Not sure I call throwing a fish in a hole and leaving it there to rot for months a creative way to cook.
Next time I cook, I'm cooking for 3. What is it you like so much about ghost stories, Giada?
Well, ghost stories are how we confront our fears, how we explore and define them in a safe environment.
Oh, you must have some good stories, right?
Don't they give you nightmares? The chills? After I hear a ghost story, I can't stop imagining something behind every strange noise or stray breeze.
Of course, but telling a story gives you power over it. You get to choose when to hold back and when to be merciless.
Guess I'm more comfortable with things I can see. And shoot, if needed.
An anamancer has to grow comfortable with the unknown. But that would be challenging for a soldier.
And a sailor. When you spend months at the mercy of the sea, and whatever's in it, you learn a healthy fear of the unknown.
Can't say I blame you. I'm brave enough to tinker on souls, but the ocean? No thank you. Leave me out of it.
So, come to Shatterscarp often?
Are you flirting with me, Marius?
No. No. I'm just making conversation. I mean...
I can't say I've never thought of it. I've not been with a man closer to my height in quite some time.
Listen, not that I would... let's not.
Of course it would never work, but it would probably work for at least 6 months.
Whoa, slow down. I was literally just trying to fill the silence.
Coward.
And that is why Adra and Copper are the only reliable conductors of soul lessons. Thank you for listening. Are there any questions?
Right. I think you lost me a while back there.
Really? Oh. I suppose that explains the heavy breathing.
He can sleep with his eyes open. Says it's a survival trick, but I think he does it to avoid my war stories.
What's the last thing you remember? We can start from there.
Oh, I seem to remember you coming over and saying, "Hey, Marius, can we talk?"
That was hours ago.
Right. And feel free to start over from the beginning. I promise to listen this time.
No, that's all right. Perhaps another time.
Well, I found your lecture fascinating, darling. I'll keep the boys awake next time if you need their help.
Yatsley, when all of this is behind us, are you going back to Fiorme Severno?
It's hard to imagine leaving forever, especially with Quilici still there. What about you? Vidaro's reversed your exile. You could return.
I haven't decided yet. On the one hand, it's tempting.
On the other, nothing's really changed. And you'd still have the same problems waiting for you there.
Exactly. You understand.
You're a brilliant woman, Giada. Whatever you decide, you'll be right.
You're too kind to me, Yatsley. I don't deserve you.
Oh, for all you put up with from me, I'm sure I could be kinder. But I'm always happy to help. What about you, dearie?
My life is so different now. And sadly, Fior Messiverno is no longer a part of it.
Of course, darling. Quilici always knew you'd outgrow Fior.
And to think I never believed him. Even if I could go back, it wouldn't be the same. Who knows? Maybe getting banished was the best thing that's happened to me in a while.
Maybe Fior was holding you back, and you can return one day to rub all your success in their faces.
I gave it a lot of thought, and I've decided to take him up on his offer.
Wonderful! We can go home then together.
I'm looking forward to it. The community deserves a second chance, and so do I.
And with how much you've improved in your anamancy, you'll be properly respected, I'm sure. Whatever happens, I'm sure you'll excel. And find some new fool in charge to pester.
You know what I miss? Flashberries.
Oh, I loved those as a child. The gifted magpie used to make a delicious flashberry jam.
Ooh, sweet and a little tangy, with a nice snap when you bite down. Huh. A little spicy burn if you leave the seeds in.
Oh, that's it. Now I'm hungry again. And I would kill for a flashberry.
I'll have to get some more of those next time I'm in the stair.
Now that I think of it, my father had a recipe for flashberry pie. I'll write it down for you later.
I knew I liked you. I just never knew why until this very moment. My guess is most of the vines were destroyed in the fires. If Ludwig killed all the flashberries, I will be very angry with her.
The berries will return. Either nature will bring them back, or I will.
If you were in the Navy, does that mean you sang on ships?
Always. Helps pass the time, gives your work a rhythm. Why?
I heard you singing under your breath in the last fight. Then you were stabbing on beat.
I didn't even realize. How'd you notice?
It's the curse and blessing of having very large ears, dearie.
Well, guess the Navy left me with something useful after all.
I am going to need you to teach me that song, though. I wonder if it'd improve my spellcasting.
As if you'd need my help for that.
Flattery will get you everywhere, dearie.
I wish you could have seen Emerald Stair in better times.
What was it like? I've only passed through a few times over the years.
The evenings were cool. Fish leaped into our nets. Emerald Stair was everything.
Pleasant and abundant. Sounds like the fables old trenchers used to tell about Deadfire. A paradise.
Marius, could I examine your soul?
Oh, no. You'll use none of that spooky soul business on me.
But I promised to be gentle.
What are you even looking for?
Nothing. Anything. I'm sure I'll know when I find it.
And so will the rest of us.
Well, I would offer my soul to study, but you and Quilici plumbed it enough. I'm sure you'd prefer someone new.
Don't you trust me?
You? Sure. It's all the anamancy I have trust problems with.
I'll try not to take that personally. Suit yourself.
How to know when to be quiet. What a lovely gift to find on my pillow.
Oh, interesting. I suppose that's a good skill to master.
If I didn't know better, Marius, I'd think someone was trying to tell me something.
Right. Well, the best thing to do would be to read it, see what it's all about.
And you have nothing more to say, do you?
No, I think everything's out in the open. Why?
I know I talk a lot, but had I known it bothered you so...
Oh, no. It's about maintaining stealth in a wilderness environment. Gods, what did you think it was about?
I just assumed you were too cowardly to complain to my face, dearie.
Not at all. If I had a problem with you, you'd know it. Trust me.
Are you seeing anyone, Marius? Romantically, I mean.
Right. I knew this would come up eventually.
I only bring it up because romance is good for the soul.
So is finding a good pile of deer saka on a hunt, but I'm not advising you to go looking for it.
Under the right conditions, you can even measure the energy of a romantic tryst. Isn't that fascinating?
To you? Sure.
Oh, well. Let me know if you change your mind. I know a lot of shy academics in need of an experienced guide.
Haha, I'll let you know.
Kai, You've killed people before.
Good evening to you, too. And, yeah.
Have you ever been haunted by one of them?
Well, the first has always stayed with me. This was in Deadfire. We were boarded by Valiant privateers in the dead of night. One moment, I'm asleep, and the next, I'm staring down the barrel of a pistol. It misfired, and I ran him through before he could try again. But I'll never forget the look in his eyes as the light faded out of them. Is that what you wanted to know?
Oh dear, not exactly. When I said haunted, I meant, have you ever seen a ghost before?
Once, at sea, I heard moaning coming from the ship's lazarette. Never went down there again.
Noted, thank you. Do you need to talk about, the dead privateer? Because I have time.
I think I just need a drink.
Kai, darling,
M'lady,
next time we fight some beetles, would you mind?
I'll take care of the claws so they don't snag your outfit. I noticed you mending some tears the other day.
I couldn't love you more. Thank you, dearie.
I once heard rumors about a cataclysm in the Deadfire. Something about the lost city of Ukaizo. Does that ring any bells?
The higher-ups with fancy hats were looking for it, but that was all above my rank.
There was also talk of a broken machine, a device so large that it towered over the city.
Definitely sounds like the kind of thing the fancy hats would have been interested in. But why are you so curious about something on the other side of the world?
I have my reasons.
I was wondering, what do souls feel like?
Forgive me, but could you elaborate?
I mean, do you touch them when you're doing anamancy? Are they hot or cold? Is it like a cloud or like a beam of light?
Well, it feels a bit like being watched. Like there's an unseen presence in the laboratory with you.
I think that makes sense.
That's why many animancers prefer to work in groups, to be in the presence of the living. Normally this is nothing to worry about, unless the presence follows you home. Then you know you've angered the dead.
Right. I think I'll just stick with hunting bears for now.
How did you end up in Paradise?
I was drifting. Guess I needed a change of scenery.
No, I mean, why settle in Paradise? Why not someplace else?
It's busy enough to get into trouble, and big enough to get lost in.
Are you sure it's not just because you were close to boats again?
After you've spent as much time on boats as I have, you cherish dry land.
No, I've spent enough time in Thirdborn to know that's a lie, honey.
Kai, have you ever met a marine godlike? One of Andra's children?
Ngati's children, as they're called in Deadfire. I've heard stories, but never met one. They're rare everywhere, but revered among the Wana.
I've always wanted to study one up close, but they're a slippery bunch.
Why are you so interested?
Purely academic reasons.
I might know a particularly charming one, if you need an introduction, dearie.
Maybe I'll take you up on that. Later, of course. And let's keep it between us.
Too late. We heard everything.
Do you think you could teach me to shoot?
Sure, but why? You know spells that'll knock an ogre on their back.
I've seen some very pretty guns. I think the right one would fit with my outfit, and I'd hate to miss out.
Fair enough. I'll teach you to shoot if you teach me some spells.
Sure, as long as you don't make me start with Tane's chaotic orb.
Ooh, what does that one do? Now that you mentioned it, that's the only one I want to learn.
Let's see how good you are at teaching. Then we can talk about the fun spells.
Marius, have you ever seen a ghost?
Once I saw a green spectral woman floating over a pile of decaying leaves. Big hair like her head was on fire. Then again, it might have been a hallucination from some bad toadcap tea I got from an old lady in the forest.
Oh, last time I took bad mushrooms, I thought our home had been infested by tiny Delangon. Turns out my ferns were shedding.
That is a fascinating story. I wonder if nature was trying to tell you something.
Nature usually tells us to stay out, but with fewer words, and we never listen.
Don't mind him. He tells that story at the Ballarrock to trick travelers into buying him around.
Right, just because it never really happened doesn't mean it's any less true, you sock-a-supped root weasel.
Gentlemen, don't make me separate you. Thank you for the story, Marius. I liked it very much.
Huh, at least someone here knows how to appreciate a little entertainment. You know, people don't think steam thistle has any medicinal properties.
Oh?
But if you grind it up and add some clean water, it's decent at protecting your skin from the sun.
That will be a great help on our travels. I detest the sun.
It also doesn't taste half bad on bread, if you don't mind picking out all the little pricklers.
I think I'll stick to butter. But at least we have options.
Wait, did you ask about that, or was it Kai? Never mind. Carry on.
Yatsley, did the godless believe anything about the stars? Any stories about the night sky?
There's an Achaean myth that all stars are actually bonfires far in the distance, giving you a peek into the lives of others you'd otherwise never meet.
Fascinating.
Why do you ask, dearie?
There's a lot about the physical world we still don't understand, and I always wonder how much we've forgotten. Falling stars, for example, are rich with soul essence. We still don't know why.
Interesting.
I have a theory, but maybe I should keep it to myself.
Oh, well, you can't keep it to yourself now. Share.
Talking about forbidden lore is a good way to attract the wrong sort of attention. The hand occult, for instance.
Oh, the suspense is killing me, dearie.
Let's discuss it in private, when no one else is listening.
No point. You two are incredibly loud when you're gossiping.
This isn't gossip. It's academic discourse.
Either way, it's loud.
Ignore them, Giada. We're going to be as loud as we like.
Marius, I've been wondering about something.
What's that?
How do we keep finding Zorups on every continent? They don't strike me as the seafaring type.
Oh, that's simple. Zarb's probably stowaway on merchant ships or ride on the back of dragons or something like that.
What if Aora was once a single landmass, and the Zorup tribes drifted apart over the years? Could that be possible?
I'm pretty sure you're overthinking it. It's like rats. You see them everywhere too, but they don't have their own navy either.
Maybe you're right. But I like my theory.
Well, that's a theory. You might need to look into it some more before telling it to anyone else, of course. How knowledgeable are you about boat maintenance?
I know enough to patch a hull or mend a sail. Why do you ask?
Well, I was thinking about it. The weather around here is so tempestuous, and the envoy's already been in one shipwreck. If we end up in a boat, I'd just rather someone knew what they were doing.
If there's one thing I'm good at, it's boats. If there's another, it's pretending I know what I'm doing.
Oh, my hero.
Going diving into ancient ruins doesn't make much sense to me. You're going into some of the most deadly places in the lands. On purpose.
They're not any more dangerous than the rest of the living lands.
Right. But I'm there to keep people from making stupid mistakes, like diving into ancient ruins on purpose.
Well, if you keep others out of the ruins, I have to go in. Who else will if I don't?
No one has to. If people were meant to go there, there'd still be people there.
Oh, you're so sweet for worrying, dear.
I mean, I swear to the Ascendant Gods, you're about as hard to read as a Valian romance novel.
So you've read those romance novels, then? Should we start a book club?
Right, we're done here. I'll be over there doing something else.
Yatsley, have you ever seen a ghost?
Ugh, not nearly as many as I'd like, with how often I'm in abandoned ruins. Why do you ask, darling? Oh, are you trying to collect ghost stories from everyone?
No, good blessed a question.
It's just, we live in a rich metaphysical ecosystem, full of wonders and spirits, and I've never met a ghost. Not one.
Oh, my poor dear. I'm sure you'll meet a wonderful and interesting spirit someday.
You really think so?
Even better, you'll probably be a ghost someday.
That makes me feel a lot better. Thank you both.
Giada, are you talking about ghosts again?
Yes, but in a good way. Care to join us?
I think I'll stay by the fire.
By the way, I never met that Orlin girl before in my life.
What Orlin girl.
You remember. The one in the camp in Shadow Peaks, with the thing on her head?
Oh, yeah. Nice eyes, chipped tooth. Thinking about her again, huh?
You thought we had a past or something, but I never seen her before in my life.
We could see her again if you want. I think she liked you.
Well, anyway, just wanted to clear that up. Yeah, a good talk.
Some women like the brooding, mysterious types. We just gotta work on your small talk.
I've always thought that you looked good enough to eat, Kai.
Yardsley, why did I wake up to smell perfume in my bedroll this morning?
Don't tease, darling. We both know why.
No one else has complained about my smell.
I was attempting a more subtle approach.
Spraying strong perfume on my stuff isn't subtle.
Oh, is it too strong? I'll try another batch. Perhaps that'll be more to your liking.
Right, that won't be necessary.
Oh, trust me, it's necessary.
Marius, what do you know about snake bites?
All there is to know. What bit you?
I don't know. It just slithered out of my bedroll.
Listen to me, this is very important. Was its head flat or round?
Hard to say. Kind of star-shaped?
Okay, after it bit you, did it hold on or let go?
It held on and left a bruise in the shape of an eye.
You're in luck. That's an onlooker worm snake. Harmless, though legend says they're emissaries of WoW.
Wow! The god of mysteries and illusions sent me a snake?
Oh, lucky!
Be glad it wasn't a shimmering dream beast. Those are nasty.
Well, the venom won't kill you, but you'll have some interesting nightmares.
Nightmares I can deal with, but I wonder what it all means. Oh well, perhaps I'm not meant to know. Thank you, Marius. I feel a lot better.
Don't mention it.
If you were asked where I was last evening, what would you say?
Depends who's asking.
No one? Maybe Hajime, but probably no one.
Yesterday evening. Oh, you were busy with your fur maintenance routine. It's an elaborate process.
Wow, really? No follow-up questions?
I figure you got your reasons. And I could use a favor next time someone gets mad at me for snooping.
I knew I liked you for a reason.
I met this anamancer one time. You might know him.
Oh? Who would that be?
Tall guy, beard, spectacles, hair.
That doesn't exactly narrow it down.
Had this thing around his neck. Gold, I think. Hummed a lot.
Humming is common, as is jewelry.
Had this nasally voice, like, "Oh, please, don't touch that machine. It's worth more than you are."
Oh, was it Lisonio Galatini, the wandering teacher of Spirento? The renowned musician of the soul?
No, that's not it. I guess you didn't know him.
Well, let me know if you remember.
Even though I can't use them anymore, I'm loath to give away my perfumery supplies.
Why would you have to give them away?
I fear I've lost my sense of smell forever.
What makes you say that?
Well, it's either that or you've suddenly stopped your odorous assault. One is far more likely than the other.
Well, I might have put a bit of that perfume you gave me in my pits. Just a bit.
That's wonderful news. Oh, it doesn't irritate you or anything of the sort?
Not irritated, no.
Good, I'm glad. I was a little worried about not using a seed oil base, but it seems to have smothered your scent quite well.
I just wanted to keep the animals away.
Yes, keep the animals away, not your friends, dearie. I'll make a new batch for you just as soon as I'm able.
Does anyone have a copy of the Theorems of Pangram? I want to try something.
I wish I could help, sweetheart, but the only copy I know of was lost somewhere in the Deerwood.
Too bad. I've been looking into necromancy, just in case the envoy drops dead again.
You don't think Sapadal will work their tricks?
Perhaps, but it's good to have a contingency plan.
Right. Necromancy is your plan?
You have a better one?
Nope. Necromancy it is then, I guess.
Perfect! I've been itching for an excuse to try my hand at necromancy.
How about you?
How about me?
Why settle in Fjord? The Living Lands has godless ruins everywhere.
Aside from meeting the love of my life there, you mean?
What, you figured out he was the love of your life all in a day?
If you'd seen what he'd done the night before, he'd be the love of your life, too.
I don't think I could do what you do. Too many unknowns.
But that's what makes it interesting, dearie.
But you can't prepare for what you can't predict. You get bit by a root viper, I have an antidote. But in those ruins, anything could happen.
Well, you just have to prepare as best as you can. And stay on your toes.
It's just not possible to be ready for everything. I'd drive myself to Vinta trying to cover anything that could happen.
Yes, but once you've gone through 30 or so ruins, you start to know what to expect. It makes packing much easier.
Gives me the vrikas just thinking about it.
You're telling me the Archmage Consulhot is just a floating skull?
Oh, he does find himself between bodies from time to time, but not usually.
That must be terribly inconvenient, especially for whomever has to carry him around.
I heard a rumor he loves candied nuts. How does that work for a floating skull?
Right, I refuse to even entertain the idea of a skull floating around casting spells and eating nuts.
Then it's agreed. If we come across a floating skull, we just keep walking.
Have you ever eaten at the dead swordfish?
Probably.
Does that mean you've seen a real live Balrog?
More than one.
I'm starting to think they're a myth. You're the only one I've met who's ever seen one.
I know plenty of people who have seen a Balrog. Maybe you just need more friends.
Oh, really? Are any of your friends who have definitely seen Balrogs in the room with us now?
Okay, I need to get some sleep.
You're far too much fun to tease, darling.
I heard you were stationed in the Deadfire.
Sure was. I was sent out as soon as I was old enough to leave home.
Is it true what they say? That Aethys woke up a dormant volcano?
That was after my time, but... Wait. Why do you want to know?
No reason.
Mogren's breath. Please don't start thinking of ways to set off a volcano.
Oh, a charcoal mask does sound wonderful.
No one is setting off any volcanoes. How would that even work? Though I bet I'd be really good at it. Marius, can I offer a suggestion?
I have a feeling you're about to do it anyway, so go ahead.
I just want you to enjoy life. I'm worried that you aren't, and this might be your only chance.
Right. What?
The next time we get reborn, we might all be trees, or mushrooms, or rats.
At least I'll already be used to having fur.
We might not even be sentient. 100 years from now, we could all be grass. If it's even possible that this is our last chance at life.
Good. It would be nice to just sit there, soaking up the sun. No worries at all. Wait, what?
Never mind. Doesn't it bother you? Don't you want to get the most out of this life while you have it?
Right. I get that you're concerned, but I'm good. As long as my body's still breathing, my soul will be just fine.
I'm glad to hear it. Thank you, Marius. I won't bother you anymore.
You're not bothering me. I mean, we're friends, after all.
So we are. Yardsley, did you hear that? I made a friend.
Wonderful, darling. You're growing up so fast.
I knew the Stilgarrote were up to no good.
No one ever plans anything nice in a hidden war camp, do they?
This isn't over, you know. Emerald Stair was just the beginning.
Ominous portents of doom. Need more of those for sure.
I can't believe it. My city. It's all gone.
I'm so sorry. I've left a few homes over the years, but I've never lost one like that.
3 times I have left my home. First as an orphan, then as an outcast. Now as a refugee.
It's never easy leaving home behind. I'm sorry, Giada.
Thank you. At least I'm not alone.
I know, darling. It's a... Well... I think I'm speechless for once.
You don't have to say anything. Your presence alone is enough. It's hard to imagine my people taking shelter in Paradise.
Paradise is big enough to get lost in. When you're starting over, sometimes you need that.
Maybe it is safer to remain lost.
They'll be better off there. Safest place in the lands. Assuming they don't cause any trouble.
I hope you're right. At least there's safety in numbers.
There are good people everywhere. As long as they're careful, they should be okay.
Elia knows how to look after the flock. I'm sure they'll be fine.
As long as the animancers don't do something stupid to annoy them too much.
I hope Thirdborn is a good community for my people. They've been through a lot.
Thirdborn's rough around the edges, but it's full of good people.
Survivors, in other words. In that case, maybe your kin are a good match for mine.
Thirdborn's a rough town, but it's not all bad, assuming they're willing to pull their weight.
Animancers can be an eccentric bunch, but we know the meaning of a good day's work.
Oh, they're rough around the edges, but Thirdborn is full of good kith.
Quilici is very protective of the community. He'll make sure they behave.
Assuming they hide the revenants well.
Don't worry. They'll find their place there.
What's that you're drinking?
Some tea from the Deerwood. It's got some Glanfathen name I've never been able to pronounce, but it's delightful.
I've never smelled anything quite like it.
See? Delightful, isn't it? And it tastes just as good if you'd like a cup.
Another time. I'll just sit here and enjoy the scent, if you don't mind.
Suit yourself. More for me. Did you have many friends in Thirdborn?
Sure. Why do you ask?
I was just thinking, I only ever saw you with Tama.
Well, he led our patrols and defenses. We had a lot to talk about.
Did you and Tama spend all your time together?
Our whole squad was pretty tight-knit. We had to be to work as a team.
I just don't know how you would have had time for anyone else. Any potential partner would need to be pretty understanding.
In hindsight, I guess that clears up a thing or two.
Oh, well, that explains it. The tall, handsome, thoughtful man you are, of course you didn't have a partner.
I had a whole squad. I count myself lucky.
A whole squad? Well, that's a bit much, even for me. I thought you and Tama were just close, that's all.
He was a good friend and mentor to all of us.
I'm sorry for your loss then, dearie.
Thanks. I should probably, see to the fire.
Hey, I wanted to say that I'm sorry to hear about the whole Tama thing.
Thanks, Marius. That means a lot.
I've left people behind before, but it's different when you lose someone unexpectedly. So, sorry.
It's not leaving. You lost everyone when you were young. That must have hurt.
Every loss hurts. There's no comparing them.
I guess I did. I don't remember it really, but... Right, this isn't about me. Anyway, I'm here if you need to talk, or if you don't, or whatever.
Thank you. Really. I appreciate it.
Don't mention it. Seriously. I can only handle being sincere with one person at a time.
Thank you for telling us about Tama. For what it's worth, I don't think less of you. Dealing with grief, it's never easy.
I've lost people before. You're right. The grief is never easy. What I didn't know how to deal with was the shame, knowing I'd failed them.
We never fail those who love us. But our conscience tells us otherwise.
Oh, you might know this, Marius.
I might.
How do you get dust stains out of your clothes?
Just wear clothes that won't be ruined by dust stains.
Wonderful advice for the future, dearie. However, I still have a dust stain on my pants.
Right. Grind up some bone slate, squeeze a few hemp flowers into it, and rub it into the stain like you're trying to start a fire.
I'm glad we arrived at a real answer, finally. Thank you, darling. You're a delight as always.
Have you ever been to the Valian Republics?
A couple of times. Plenty of mercenary contracts out there.
The Republics are said to be innovators in arts, government, and anamancy, but also corruption.
That's probably why there's so much work for people like me. What about you? That's where your people came from before they founded Fjord.
I've never even left the island before. One day, I would very much like to visit, if only to understand why my people left.
I doubt my soul is worth much to an animancer.
Why would you say that about yourself?
It's just that I'm not what I'd call strong-willed. I'm tense all the time, and just not easy to be around sometimes.
Self-knowledge and inner conflict are signs of a powerful soul. Make no mistake, you have a good one.
Thank you. I needed that.
Is your outfit from Rawatai, or do you have a tailor in Thirdborn?
Anything I had from Rawatai has long since turned to rags. And Thirdborn doesn't have tailors, just sailmakers with time on their hands. Why?
I just wanted to thank whoever decided that you should wear that vest with no shirt underneath.
I just figured it was one less piece to wash.
Oh, I didn't realize I was speaking with the man himself. Thank you, Kai.
My gift to the world.
I'm going to miss Fiorma Siverno.
I'll miss my afternoons at the Gifted Magpie. The chirping of the birds and the taste of the tea will be hard to replicate.
The root hog ribs there were fantastic.
It had a timeless charm, like it was plucked from the hills outside Salona. I'm surprised you remember it so fondly, given where it got you. What will you miss the most, Giada?
I think I'll miss the defiance most of all.
The defiance?
Fiorma Siverno was an act of rebellion. We denounced the republics, we subverted nature, and we offended Adir. Good or bad, defiance was our culture, the bedrock of our community. And I'm going to miss it.
I have something I want you to drink.
I'm not falling for that again. Tell me what it is first.
Boiled stainwood bark and wasp apple juice. Does wonders for the digestion.
My digestion is doing just fine.
Right. No, you're right. It's probably some other offensive smell coming from something else.
Well, you've done most of the cooking. Go easy on the peppers for a change.
Nothing to be embarrassed about. Just drink the stuff. I made enough for the week.
I'd prefer candied ginger, but thanks.
Right. Yatsley was asking if there were earthquakes earlier today. I figured you'd rather get through this sooner rather than later.
Do you have a moment, Marius?
Right. I guess I do.
Do you ever wonder how we invented bread?
What?
I just wonder who looked at yeast, grain, and eggs and decided to add heat to all that, and to see what came of it.
Why are we talking about this?
Do you think it was an accident? Do you think they dropped some grain in the campfire and went from there?
Dropping grain in your campfire doesn't make bread happen.
But how do we know? How do you think bread was invented?
I don't know. Maybe it came about over centuries of messing around with different mixtures and cooking techniques.
Well, if you won't take it seriously, there's no point in discussing this.
Yatsley, I have a theory.
Oh, do tell.
I believe our souls have awareness independent of conscious thought. Dreams, instincts, reflexes, appetites. These are all facets of our ethereal self. A subconscious, if you will.
Fascinating. Do you have any idea what this subconscious wants?
If I had to guess, my soul has no love of confinement. It wants to escape, to be free.
I assume my soul wants pampering and finer accommodations. But not better company, at least.
My soul just wants to be left alone in silence for once.
For me, it's pie. Pie all the way down.
I feel as if we're scratching the surface of an entirely new field of anamancy. If only I had the time to pursue it.
What's that fragrance you're wearing?
Ambergris, from the guts of a dead leviathan. Why, do you like it?
Oh, don't get me wrong. I like it fine. But I think it's attracting spiteflies.
Oh, that explains the bites. Apologies, Marius. The aroma does tend to linger.
No. It's fine. I can handle a few spiteflies. Just letting you know.
I'm never wearing this again. I'm just gonna say it. I regret eating the cheese you stole from Marius.
The only thing I regret is the noises my stomach made afterwards. You want to split the rest? I really shouldn't eat it all myself.
I thought you'd never ask.
Right. Did someone eat my special cheese?
Cheese? No, not me. What about you, Kai?
Believe me, you'd know if I'd eaten it.
It was medicinal cheese for my stomach, and someone ate it.
Oh, rats, maybe?
Well, someone ate it. The sooner they confess, the sooner we can move past it.
Guess we'll be here a while.
Right. I thought this might happen, which is why I took the liberty of going through Kai's pockets.
Uh-oh.
Guess what I found? Crumbs. Cheese crumbs.
That doesn't prove anything.
It's my fault, Marius. I was starving, and Kai was generous enough to share.
Marius, I'm sorry for enjoying your special cheese.
That cheese was aged 10 years in a seaside cave. The next time you're peckish, ask and I'll get you something fresher.
For what it's worth, it was delicious.
Oh, I know, Giada. I know.
Did someone teach you to fight? Or is every Roatayan born with a sword and pistol in hand?
I like to think we're naturals on the battlefield, but I got my training in the Rawatayan Navy.
Does no one study before then?
We learn the basics, just like anyone else. Believe it or not, we don't all become soldiers. We've got trade guilds and universities. Our best scholars wind up at the Lore College.
Interesting.
What brought this on?
Well, I was flinging fireballs at a very young age, and I wondered if Rawatai had perfected fireproof homes.
The storms take care of that for us.
Fair point.
Could you possibly chew any louder?
Only if you say please.
Nimdude, you'll have every dream thrall in the scarp after us.
It takes a real talent to gulp them all at once.
Well, just keep it down. I can't hear myself think.
At least he's not as loud as the envoy, gulping down potion after potion. Do you know anyone from the Handa cult?
I know a lot of people, and just as many secrets. Why do you ask?
I was wondering what they think of our situation.
I'm not sure. They play their cards so close to the chest it's hard to figure out what they want. Maybe they just want to see how it all plays out.
Probably for the best. Getting the Hand involved is a good way to end up in an asylum.
Right. You're gonna have to explain that one.
You've never heard? The Handa cult have secret asylums all over the world.
That can't be true.
When you stay too long, your face melts off like candle wax. Not a pretty sight from what I hear.
She's not joking. The Handa cult have a nasty habit of locking up those who know too much.
Then why did you tell us all that? God, it's like you want my face to melt off.
Have you ever thought of doing anything with the coal around your eyes?
Right. Did you somehow not see the thick stripe across my eyes?
No, I mean designs other than the stripe.
Designs?
Don't get me wrong. The stripe really brings out your eyes, but it might be nice to change things up from time to time.
This is for camouflage. It has a vital role in surviving the wilds.
Surely you don't want to be hidden all the time. How about the next time you want to stand out? You just let me know.
Right. I'll do that. Just maybe don't wait for me, though, okay? Oh, Giada, your weird device thing was making a noise last night.
Really? What kind of noise?
It was this high-pitched buzzing sound.
Nothing to worry about. That just means a ghost passed through camp.
Right. What?
Must have been a big one, too. I'm sorry I missed it.
I'm sorry I didn't.
Uh-huh. And, what kind of story are you looking for, Yardsley?
Oh, come on. You don't go to the dead fire and come back with nothing. You are far too interesting to be lacking in stories.
Okay. There's an establishment in Nekataka called the Wild Mare. I went with some buddies, and after a few drinks we found ourselves on stage belting sea shanties. We were good enough that we got half the bar to join us, and a few of the newcomers thought we were part of the entertainment. We didn't see any reason to let them down, so it was a good night for everyone.
Oh, how daring. Well, Kai, that should satiate me. For the time being, of course.
Come back any time.
Hey, sorry about your parents, you know.
It's very kind. Sometimes grief clings to you like a shadow. And sometimes you wonder where it went.
It's not easy, but you get used to it after a while.
You seem to know from experience.
No, I mean, not really. I've left people behind, though, and it was difficult.
Anytime you want to talk about it, let me know.
Right. Thanks for that.
You lost your parents as well. And your home.
Right. I guess it's pretty similar. I guess a lot of people outlive their parents.
That is the natural order of things. And yet somehow, we're never ready for it.
Yardsley, I've got a favor to ask.
Of course. Have you finally fallen to a life of crime?
More or less. I found some shortbread cookies. I've gotten rid of most of the evidence.
Oh, whatever you need, sweetheart. I'm a steel trap.
I found them in Marius's pack. He can't know. Especially not after the cheese incident. If he asks, you saw rats.
I know I'm beautiful, darling, but usually my admirers hide their stares a little better.
Oh, I wasn't, I mean, you do look lovely, but, all this time on the road, and you look as fresh as spring berries. I just wondered how you do it.
Oh, why, thank you. It took a while to find a product that worked so well.
Any tips for scales? No matter how much I scrub, I never feel like I'm getting the dust out.
Darling, sweetheart, I would love to build a regimen for you. Next time we go back to Fjord, we'll make a quick stop at my usual supplier.
It's a date.
Marius, darling,
What do you need?
has Kai told you any stories of his time in the Dead Fire?
Too many. Why?
Have you heard the one about the wild mare? I just didn't think our boy had it in him.
That's because he doesn't. He acts like he's a wild Stelgar, without a care in the world. But I guarantee you that wild mare story's a load of Saka.
Sounds like Kai and I will have to have a little chat then. Thank you, dearie.
Oh, no. Now that you mention it, I think that one part was a little bit true.
You were with the envoy when they died. Did you notice anything strange?
Strange how? Besides the part where he came back, I mean.
Disembodied voices, otherworldly visions, anything like that?
Nope. Just lots of blood and lots of shouting.
I'm trying to research near-death experiences. And as usual, I have to do everything myself.
I'm sorry, what madness are we planning now?
Don't worry. Hypothetically, anything I do will be in a lab environment with plenty of supervision.
If you need subjects, I'm always willing to offer someone else's help, sweetie.
Just remember to make good with your gods before you do.
Good thinking. I wouldn't want to meet the gods unprepared.
Did you leave anyone back home?
I left everyone I knew when I left. Thanks for mentioning it.
No, I mean, did you leave someone special?
They're all special. That's the whole point of friends.
No, Did you leave a lover behind when you left home?
I love them all. They were like family to me.
What? No, Wait. Are you messing with me, Marius?
Me. Mess with you. Not blessed a likely.
Bravo, darling. I'm just happy to know you've got a sense of humor after all. Of course, I'll get my revenge soon enough.
Best of luck to you.
Kai, darling,
Ma'am?
did you move my bedroll?
Yeah. Found you a new spot.
Why did you do that?
You mentioned the ground was rough on your back. I noticed a soft patch.
Oh, I didn't know I was camping with such a gentleman. Thank you, darling. But next time, warn a girl, will you?
You got it. No surprises.
Lanatat.
Say again?
You sneezed. Lanatat.
You mean Ianatad. Lanatad means something else.
Oh. Well, what does it mean then?
It's someone who enjoys special time by themselves. Intimately.
So that's not an accurate descriptor for yourself? Oh, is that why you're so tense?
Right. I'm gonna sit here quietly now.
Of course, dearie. Oh, and Yanatat.
Gods. Anyone else finding it hard to breathe?
Oh, dear. Focus on something else, dear. Like how terrible the tusks smell.
We're here. Stay with us, Marius. The feeling will pass.
Right. I'm alright. It's like I'm being chased by something I can't see. Ah, gods. I'm the last person I'd want to be chased by.
We're here, Marius. You're safe. The only thing chasing you is yourself.
Would you like some ice, darling?
I'm not drinking anything.
Well, I remember hearing an old wives' tale that when you're on the verge of panic, you hold some ice. It gives you something to focus on, apparently. I can magically whip up some for you if ever you need it.
Right. No thanks. I'm fine.
No need to bite my head off, darling. I'm only trying to help.
Gods. Listen, I'm having a rough day and my porridge isn't sitting very well. Maybe I'll ask you for some ice later.
Well, however I can be helpful.
How did you and Quilici meet? For some reason, he won't tell me the story. Was it scandalous? Did you seduce him away from a noble heiress and now you're both in hiding?
No, it's a tale as old as time, my dear. We locked eyes across the bar back in Fjord, and he was a goner. The moment he found out I wanted to see Nakutadek, he offered to take me there. So off we went. And once I'd gotten my fill of the ruin's exterior, we had just enough time left to explore each other.
Oh, research and romance. When I find my special someone, I can only hope our meeting is as educational as yours.
This might sound weird, but can I have some of your fur?
Well, that's quite the way to start a conversation. Why do you want my fur?
I think I could use it as insulation.
Well, if you want me to keep you warm at night, you need only ask, darling. The Quilichi might have something to say about it.
Right. Well, sorry I asked.
You know, I had a lovely chat with Marius.
Then you must be bringing out the best in him.
Clearly. Well, during the course of our talk, your name came up.
Let me guess. Guy's been raiding my snacks. Or, Guy's one handsome, fresh-smelling bastard.
Which reminded me of that delightful story you told me the other day, and, well, I just had to share.
That one's not really a Marius story.
Strangely enough, Marius had no idea what I was speaking of. He thinks you may have fibbed.
I may have embellished a little, but the important parts are true.
Which is ridiculous. You know better than to fib to me, don't you, dearie? Because, of course, we do see each other all the time, and often in such vulnerable positions. So next time I ask you for a story, it will be juicy and accurate, won't it?
Sure.
Good boy.
Yatsley, no pressure, but why haven't you and Quilichi settled down yet?
We're happy as we are now. Well, living in sin suits us.
Scandalous. But it makes sense. He doesn't keep with any tradition or ceremony from the old country.
I've never stayed in one place for very long, but settling down with someone sounds nice.
Sounds like a good way to get stuck in one place to me.
You'll never know until you try.
How does one become a scout?
Why, you looking to pick up the craft?
Oh, no. Unfortunately, I would only be a useful guide in some godless ruins, and I don't know that I'm quite ready to share yet. No, I just wonder how you ended up guiding clueless kith across the lands.
Solace taught me a lot, but I picked up most of my skills just surviving on my own. Spent a lot of time just trying to not be in Solace. Once I left, it just seemed like the right thing to do. A lot of people need help to survive out here.
You didn't want to do anything else? Have any other dreams?
What else would I do? I'm not really good at anything else.
I've been researching the Hollowborn crisis, another spiritual plague, both similar and different to ours.
Dreadful, wasn't it? Especially the parts with the animal souls.
Could it be related to the Dream Scourge? A common ancestor, maybe?
The people of the Deerwood seemed to think that they'd angered the gods, and it was divine retribution. I highly doubt the gods would be so petty, though.
I don't know about the gods, but people sure are. I heard they turned on their neighbors. Aothasians, animancers, anyone suspicious.
According to my research, the crisis went away on its own. Something tells me we won't be so lucky.
Right. Nothing goes away on its own. Not even snag itch. Mother's tongue is the best treatment for snag itch, if you ask me.
I didn't ask, but I'm glad you know so much about what to do with your mother's tongue.
Oh dear, someone must have asked. And snag itch is perfectly natural, I'm sure, and nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah, you may laugh, but you wait until you're overcome with snag itch and you're in dire need of mother's tongue.
Darling, trust me. I can handle any mother's tongue if needed.
Right. Well, I do carry it in my pack, but sure, get snag itch. See if I care.
I think there's been some confusion. Everyone is aware that mother's tongue is an herb, yes?
Of course, dearie. Marius is just too much fun to tease.
Besides, who names a plant something like that?
What do you do with everything you whittle?
It depends. Sometimes I'll leave them at camp. Sometimes I'll keep them for later.
But what if you find something out and about that you want more, and oops, your back is full?
Oh, then I'll leave something else behind. Never been one for collecting stuff anyway.
Sometimes I can't even talk to you.
Ever heard of Empress's Eye?
I think so. It's a flower, isn't it? Echidans used to believe that it was an ill omen.
Right. It grows in ditches in Emerald Stair, even now. Very resilient, as long as it gets even a little water.
Really? Oh, I'd love to see them.
If you crush the flower pods and add lemon juice and a little water, it makes a paste that would be great for dyeing your hair.
Marius, are you offering me beauty tips?
It makes it kind of bluish purple, with a little bit of shimmer to it. Looks good.
Well, dearie, I cannot wait to try it. Thank you.
It's also good for getting creek beetle dung out of leather, too, for what it's worth.
Ah, there it is. Was learning to play the flute part of your warden training?
No, I learned that on my own.
Really? Oh, I was hoping for an all-warden orchestra.
Solace is more marching band than orchestra.
Fair enough. But you were always so quiet, so it's hard for me to imagine a baby Marius picking a loud instrument.
I just like the sound of it. It's calming.
Well, you are quite proficient with your fingering, so I can't disagree.
Right. Did you ask about the flute just to talk about my fingering?
Oh, the opportunity was right there.
So, do the godless ever write anything about waking nightmares?
They seemed more focused on their dreams, unfortunately. Why?
I'll just be walking, and suddenly I'm afraid. I don't know why, and I don't know what I'm afraid of.
Well, dear, it sounds like you're used to being on edge and have trouble turning it off.
I wondered if the godless said anything about it, and if maybe they knew of something that would fix it.
The Echidans would probably prescribe time and leaning on those who love you, Marius.
Right. I suppose it'd be too blessed convenient if there was a root I could smash or a mushroom I could eat.
Some things can't be cured. They just have to heal over time, dear.
Thanks. That helps.
Anytime, dear. Truly.
Yatsley, you seem quiet. Something on your mind?
Oh, I'm just wishing I'd taken sketches when we were going through Nakukubel. So much was lost. And there's already so little left about the Akita. It's like all traces of them are being erased. I wish I could explain it, but it almost feels like my responsibility to make sure that doesn't happen.
You really would have sacrificed the people of Thirdborn? People we both knew, to save a ruin?
For a ruin with actual Akitan souls in it. And Ringgrim's solution would have saved plenty in Thirdborn, Kai.
I don't understand. Has Ringgrim already sunk her hooks so deep in you?
Just because I disagree with you, dear, doesn't mean I've been brainwashed.
I don't know what to say.
Oh, and that illusory blizzard to enter the domain! Genius. Had we stayed any longer, I think her illusions could have convinced us we had frostbite.
She built a frozen graveyard. She would have let her skeletons tear us apart. Doesn't any of that bother you?
Kai, you must understand. Archmagi don't see the world as you and I do.
I don't trust anyone who treats others' lives so callously. Just be careful, Yatsley.
You seem quiet, darling.
I'm still thinking about Thirdborn and what we did to them.
I know it's a heavy price to pay, but look at what we bought. The Dream Scourge is no more in Shatterscarb, and Nagukubel stands, ready to be studied the moment we deal with this new god and the Steel Garrote.
After all that, you're still thinking about your studies.
And aside from it being the right thing to do, I find it very easy to disagree with Ludwig.
I don't have to like her to think she was right about this.
I suppose I can understand. I just wish you could find me more agreeable than the woman who attacked Fior.
I do, Yatsley. I just wish this didn't make us the people who attacked Thirdborn.
I met this hunter from Thirdborn. Petenric?
Salmonel?
That's him. Couldn't trap himself out of a cloth sack, but he was a good tracker.
That's not surprising. For a sailor, he really didn't know his knots when I saw him last.
Wasn't much of a singer either.
Of course, now that he's gotten himself a handsome husband and taken to farming, it might not come up as much.
Phew, big mistake. A man like him isn't cut out for that sort of life.
Hopefully, you're wrong.
Well, Iana taught to him, I guess.
Was it you?
Probably. What did I do this time?
Were you the one who left this trinket on my bedroll? After last time, I assume you're to blame for any changes to my bedroll.
Oh, yeah, I whittled that. After our chat, I thought you'd like it.
After I teased you for whittling, you made me a little bird.
It's a rose warbler. Seemed like a good fit for you.
Ah, and now it makes sense. Well, still, thank you. I'll treasure it.
I like rose warblers. They're curious and chatty. They make good company.
Never thought I'd be going back to Gallowayne's tusks.
Relax. We won't embarrass you too much.
Let me guess. You burned some bridges on your way out, and now we have to cross them.
Think whatever you want. I just don't.
Take your time, dearie. You can tell me everything later over tea.
Right. Can we talk about something else?
Of course. Though you were the one who brought it up.
Kai's still wearing socks from last week. Let's discuss.
At least I've washed them. After all this time, finally returning home. How you doing, Marius?
I'm holding on. It got pretty intense back there.
Takes a lot of strength to go back to face something like that.
Thanks. Didn't feel like strength at the time.
You faced something horrible and didn't go catatonic. That's strength. No matter what it feels like, dear.
I'm not the only one here who has sad parent stories. Giada's folks turned into plants.
Everyone is haunted by something. It just hurts when that something is family.
Right. I'm fine. Let's just leave it there.
What's wrong, Marius? Your left eye is twitching like you've got something to say.
Right. Well, I just... with your family and all that, I was thinking just that I feel like I can relate is all.
Ah, I just figured it out.
Figured out what?
Why I feel so connected to you. Death makes orphans of us all. When it comes for our family, we have to learn how to grieve. And we do it alone. I think that's part of why I became an animancer. So I could study death on my terms. But the grief is always there. I eat it 3 meals a day. And I'll bet you do too.
I generally eat 5 meals a day. Seeds and roughage, but I guess grief comes along now and again. Anyway, I guess I understand what you feel. And it's a blessed day tragedy. That's all I wanted to say.
For what it's worth, I wish we didn't have so much in common.
Right. Me too.
Something on your mind, Marius?
I wanted to thank you. You've been a really good friend to me, and I appreciate it. Running into Iancu reminded me that I did have friends in Solace, and when I left, I more or less lost them. Since then, I lost track of how lonely I was getting. Then you and the envoy showed up.
That's what friends are for.
Seriously, though, you treated me like kith, not like an exile or a drunken loss of a person. I needed that more than I knew.
We're here for you when you need us. Anytime.
Oh, and if you tell anyone I said that, I'll put a twig viper in your bedroll.
There he is.
Giada, do you know if there's an anamancy treatment or whatever that might help someone forget things?
Perhaps, but I wouldn't call it a treatment. Technically, it's an injury. What's on your mind?
Well, there's a lot going on in my head these days. Sometimes I wouldn't mind forgetting some of it.
A stiff drink helps. Most of the time.
It never works. It never washes out the really bad stuff.
If you want my advice, that isn't a problem for anamancy to solve. Talking also helps.
Right. I thought you might say that. Oh well. At the rate we're going, a few more good knocks to the head ought to fix it.
If you say so.
They really were rude to you at the keep, weren't they?
I left Solace. I didn't expect him to throw me a blessed day party.
I suppose I can't really judge. If Quilici had disappeared for several years and just returned home, well, he'd be lucky if I were just rude to him.
Right. I don't need to know the details. Poor guy.
However, I'm nothing if not a hypocrite, so if anyone is mean to you, Marius, just tell me.
Not sure I'd wish that on my worst enemy, but I'll let you know.
That meeting of the Solace Council did not go as planned.
It was a whole lot of exactly what I expected, honestly. It's all processes and traditions and arguments over texts written by non-Drews centuries ago.
Same story everywhere. Though much of Rauatai's history is recorded in chants, so half our debates are sung.
Do you think there's hope for the Council? Or are they too stuck in their ways?
Do I look like an Usundid politician? There's a reason I spend most of my time as far from civilization as possible.
Well, I'd vote for you, dearie. If only to see you squirm.
Marius, did you leave a cleaning manual in my pack?
Doesn't ring a bell, but I suggest reading it when you get a chance. It's rude not to read a book given as a gift.
Since when do you worry about being rude?
I'm just saying maybe someone gave you that for a reason. I've noticed that camp supplies don't generally clean themselves.
Weren't you telling me not to wash my clothes so much?
The wilderness doesn't generally smell like boiled hardtack or peppered lithbark stew.
If this is about the time I burned your favorite pan trying to bake sweet pie in it, I'm still sorry, and I'll still get you a new one. I don't know how you fit a cleaning manual in your pack anyway.
Well, I certainly wouldn't know, because I didn't give you that book.
You know, if there's something you want to say, you can always talk to me. Marius, I know Solace was a lot of things, but it was once your home. It can't be easy to see it fall.
Not sure what to say. That was my home, but I left there for a reason. Part of me thinks it was about time those walls fell.
Even if it is for the best that the keep is gone, it can still make you sad, dearie.
The mere thought of going there paralyzed me. I thought I was gonna die. I don't feel a ton of squishy feelings for Solace. After centuries of isolation and obsessing over tradition, they might have deserved to be destroyed from within.
Yes, traditions should serve people, not the other way around.
Tradition can go suck Sokka. Never really did anyone much good.
Does anyone want to share a scary story?
No.
Gods no.
Why not? We've got everything we need. The crackling campfire, the foreboding ambiance.
I actually need to get some rest tonight. I'd rather not spend the whole night screaming in my sleep.
Well, I liked Giada's story.
Thank you, Yatsley. I suppose I owe the rest of you an apology. I didn't mean to frighten anyone.
Your stories are very good. They're just feeling a little too close to reality right now.
I'll try and think of something more pleasant then. Like a mouse and a rabbit going on pathetic little adventures.
Marius, dear, how are you feeling?
I'm alright. Good to see an old friend, you know?
It's saying goodbye that's the hard part.
You can talk to us, Marius. That is, if you think talking will help.
Well, obviously it wasn't my favorite thing, but...
Grief is strange. You lose someone, and you carry around a little hole inside yourself till you die. Or maybe the same is true for the dead. Your friend obviously loved you.
How did we get on this topic? I thought we were talking about pancakes.
Hey, Giada. How are you holding up after seeing those, plant people?
Well, I've seen things not intended for mortal eyes, and uncovered the dark truth of my family's downfall. But here I am. And how are you?
Don't worry about me. I just want to know how you're feeling.
I'm complicated. But at least I know what happened to my parents.
Knowing's one thing. Feeling okay about it's another.
Yes, that part could take a while.
As long as it doesn't turn into a ghost story. I'm here if you need to talk.
We're talking right now.
It won't be easy, but you have to let yourself feel it. All of it. Even the parts that hurt like a blessed saltfly bite.
Just be kind to yourself, dearie.
I don't know what to say, except I'm grateful to know each of you.
So those green people in the garden, those weren't your parents?
No, they were Sapadal's dreams given life. Ancient sentinels bound by loyalty.
And they were plants because...
Because that's all Sapadal knew how to make. A smithy smiths, A baker bakes. A gardener gardens.
Right, I understand.
It's all right if you don't.
Good, because I really don't.
I can't wait to give the Steel Garrote a piece of my mind. Their reckoning is long overdue.
You're gonna give them a lot more than a piece of your mind. Save some for the rest of us.
Odd fighting alongside the militia, but it feels right. Like we're fighting for the survival of the lands.
How many times do we have to teach the Steel Garrote this lesson? Now we get to see how much the Steel Garrote like being set to the torch.
So, the Living Lands is going it alone. It's exciting, but I wouldn't break out the good stuff just yet. Adiran ships won't be the last ones on our horizon.
It's not the ships I'm worried about. It's the swords.
I hate to spill blood over politics, but if not now, when? Our freedom is on the line.
Exactly right, Yara. And if we don't spill blood now, you can be sure Adir will spill ours later.
Or we'll save them the trouble. This island isn't exactly known for cool tempers. Still, Ludwig's our common enemy. That much unites us all for now.
All I'm saying is I'm ready to fight, but I'm not thrilled about it.
I'll remind you of that next time you interrogate us about your missing cheese. Still, I've seen people fight for much worse things than freedom for their home. This is one battle I am proud to be part of.
I can't say I'm proud to go to war. It's grim work, but necessary.
I swore to keep the envoy alive, and that's what I'll do. I just wish he wasn't so blessed excited to get himself killed.
Oh, but where's the fun in keeping the envoy alive if they're not doing dangerous things?
On the bright side, this is my chance to kill Ludwig a final time. She's more than earned it.
So the Living Lands is finally joining the rest of the world. A part of me will miss the frontier days, but the comforts of civilization will be nice.
Don't get too comfortable in that soft bed, Amaku. There'll always be someone to pull you out of it.
I call it colonization by another name. Freedom within limits. A contradiction if I ever heard of one.
Now that Adir has been given an inch, they'll soon take a mile.
Or we'll just take it back, like the Deerwood and Raed Saris. Either way, we should focus on the battle ahead. Ludwig's the real enemy.
I swore I'd try to keep the envoy alive. That doesn't change just because I think he's making a huge mistake.
I can think of worse things than a little normalcy. Are you that worried about a pact with Adir?
Look, I don't give a skiff of Sokka for politics. Doesn't make a ton of difference what flag they fly over Paradise. But Adir, that's something different. That's not politics. It's inviting a predator to dinner and hoping they like the salad.
I didn't think the Living Lands could stay wild forever. Still, as long as the Steel Garrote's out of the way, I think we'll manage.
Until they decide they need to conquer our way of life.
For some of us, this is everything we've dreaded and more. Our future has been sold to the highest bidder.
Adir has proven itself so wonderful to the Living Lands. Think of how much we have to look forward to.
Then let's focus on the battle ahead. Ludwig's enough of an enemy for all of us.
After your voyage, it must be nice to spend the night on dry land. Personally, I've always found the rocking of a ship to be soothing. As long as I've got my feet facing the bow, that is. Hilgard doesn't seem like the kind of man you'd send to the frontier, does he? You seem much better suited to it. I'll be honest, after seeing your murder, it's still strange to see you walking around like it never happened. I'll get used to it. I'm glad you're okay.